Hello all, this is the third video for ARS. We're going to be doing pickets on ARS2. We're going to copy inputs from ARS1 to ARS2. And the first video, just make sure to go over the W column. It's a fun little tool. The second video, we went over the availability of the system and its compatibilities. So they're very informative. On this one, we're doing pickets. As always, please watch the Anatomy of CRL series videos for a general overview of CRL sheet shared functions. So let's get into it. We're going to ARS2, and we're going to copy inputs from ARS1. I do realize that det just copies the inputs on the input pane. It does not copy over utility, shape, cutouts, or secondary. The clear button will get rid of that. So if I were to clear ARS2, it would just clear the inputs. If I were to copy from ARS2, it would just copy from the inputs. If I were to hit this button, it would clear everything out to kind of start over. So just realize those differences. All right, so we're over here on ARS2. We copied everything over. Now the way to get into pickets, let's get rid of this, is this drop down button here, right? Glass or pickets. As of right now, the pickets are blacked out. So let's do that. Once pickets is chosen, this gets blocked out because you don't need glass. And this opens up, but it still says not applicable. Reason being is we haven't chosen the picket size yet. 5/8 is where you want to go with typically. 3/4 square or round is if it's specifically asked for. I'm going to do a specific video for that and the nature of stock length, a la carte, post making and stuff like that. That'll be the video, I believe, after this, maybe the 5th. So we're going to do square pickets here, 5/8. At that point, the NA comes here, but it does retain your values. That does not say NA over here. It's just a dash. I have a little thing in there. I get rid of that. Also, the shorthand here, ARS picket railing, 3/8 clear tempered ARS railing. Coming back to ARS2, we'll just switch it up here. We'll go with fascia 42. We'll go with 100 series as opposed to 200, just to show you once again how it switches it out, blocks it out. We'll go with 100. So let's optimize right away. This you don't use this lighter green if you're doing 100 series. See that? 100, don't use that. Optimize 20-foot glass rails corresponds with this little darker shade of green, so it'll do those three. All right, so there it goes, 37. You can apply your percentages. Also, you can get rid of this number if you don't want the bottom rail flush filler. Just makes it look a little cleaner. You can just delete that out. Okay, so vinyl is something that you should acknowledge. So the top rail changes. It goes from, I forget what the part number is, but 144 inches compared to 120. So this is a top rail vinyl for the 5/8 square pickets. It is different than if you have glass. This is certainly different, and the quantity may be a little alarming. The reason is there's little spacers. 4 inches is the magic number. You cannot have a 4-inch space on a balcony. It will not meet code. So that is from the post to the glass, even though it's typically a lot less than that. The bottom post has to be at least 4 inches from the bottom. The pickets have to be no more than 4 inches apart. This number is taken from this number here. All right. Now, I had figured this to never be less than what you need. Often it is about 10% higher. It shows an estimated value, and this is this value plus an extra 1 per rail. All right. So 2079 plus 159 is 2238. Beware that when you hit this button, Optimize Pickets, it is figuring these rails against 4 inches as opposed to 241. So this number is going to be a lot higher, and the macro needs to do a lot more calculations. So if you have a slower computer, absolutely be sure that you save before doing this. That's the only real instance in this sheet in the entire, Glass Estimator Pro program that you have to do that. So just be aware of that. All right, so let's do it. When I optimize, it's going to make a... All right, so we have our thing for glass rail. It shows what it figured. Shows the raw input. And the cuts. This one's going to be crazy. So it's going to take a little while. Probably about 15 full seconds. That's it. It's going to populate this number. And there's an if statement on this one saying that if this number is more than 0, then take that. Make it equal to this. This then is tied to here. It's going to be down around like maybe, 1950. All right, 1999. There you go. So this value now is the same. That's how you know that the Picket optimization has been applied. And this is then 159, a little more easier to see it, plus 1999. Being aware that these will kind of overlap each other sometimes, right? So if I go in here and say 10%, this value will increase because it's tied to it. Now if I go over here and say another 10%, I believe it would. Yeah. So just be aware of that. You could always just type in whatever you want and print the CRL, and then you always have these reset buttons to go back to square one. Yeah. So we're just going to go back to 0 and 0. I believe that's it. We'll take a look at the Pickets. See how long this goes down. All the way down to 1999. So there's the input for the rails. One thing to acknowledge here is when you're doing the glass rails, the handrails, sorry, it takes the lengths of the runs as opposed to the length of the rails, right? So just be aware of that. I believe that is it. We did fascia, we did 42. 100 series, everything's there. Vinyl. Pickets are figured in there. Yeah. 0 post covers, add that if you want. You have the buttons with the, well, this is fascia, so there are no post covers. Splice plates, put that in if you want. That goes along with the 200 series, so that should be not applicable. That is it. I just wanted to show you the Pickets, and thank you very much for watching.